Welcome back, everyone, to Behind the Page. My name is CJ Tallarico. This is episode 8, and today I'm joined by a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Michael Stout, playing Peter Parker and Spider-Man Convergence.
Yeah, so I have Michael here to talk to me and everyone else about Spider-Man Convergence. It seems like a very exciting project that I've been looking forward to for a while and following the updates on. So, I mean, first of all, do you want to explain to everyone what Spider-Man Convergence is?
So basically, Spider-Man Convergence is about a early 20s Peter Parker, very experienced, down on his luck. He's had a few life events recently that have kind of caused him to become sloppy in the role of Spider-Man, and he is, it deals with the multiverse, it deals with Miles Morales and stuff like that. Not giving away too much, but we will be seeing both of them. Green Goblin is the main villain, so that's another thing as well. Yeah, I'm really excited for everyone to see it. I don't want to spoil too much, so I'm not gonna say too much, but yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, don't worry. So on the Indiegogo page for the project, which is where you guys got a lot of the funding, it said that this fan film's inspired a lot by Spider-Man by Brian Michael Bendis and Sarah Pichelli, which I think is an amazing book. That's like my favorite, anything to do with the Ultimate Spider-Man universe. That I was wondering, I mean, of course that, but like if there's any other comics, movies, like what iterations of Peter Parker would you say you drew from and when you play the character?
Mm, I gotta say probably like if we're basing it off other things, like my Peter Parker isn't like he's much I want to say like gritty. He's very gritty. Like he has longer hair. He's not really taking care of himself as much. So I'd say like a accurate like representation. Probably like what I'm like basing it off is we pulled from Spider-Man, but we also pulled from like things like Death of Jean DeWolf, and we also like pulled from stuff like the JMS run. JMD also writes pretty good Spider-Man. I really love Chip Zdarsky's run as well. Like him writing Spider-Man, he's very good at it. He's like one of the only recent writers who have kind of
Mhm.
like done a good job with him, I feel like. So stuff like that. I also pull from like I do pull from like live action iterations and cartoons as well. Like Spectacular definitely is a good one.
You're just
I
listing off all
definitely
my favorites. This is awesome for me.
yeah, I like you want to make them good, you know. You don't want to make
Hmm.
them like something people don't want. And he's very depressed and gritty in the beginning of the movie, I will say. Like side, I his like look as well. We're going for a longer like style of like scruff, a little bit of stubble, and longer hair as well. So I'd say probably like right around when he like got the symbiote, when he
Okay.
had like a little bit longer hair, and right after Secret Wars, and
Mhm.
he kind of had the stubble. I'd say like that's the look we're going for. But in terms of like his like how he acts and stuff, I'd say like it's a combination of all those different things because I feel like it's definitely important not to do exactly what that is in the source material, but you want to also make it super close. You don't want to
Yeah.
like do word for word, but I feel like, yeah,
Hmm.
pretty
That's
much.
exciting. That's cool. Are we gonna get to like hear about like the stuff that this Peter Parker's gone through before the movie to this point, or it's kind of just picking up with the story?
You are gonna hear some things, yes. There are some references for sure to like his past life and to other Marvel characters as well, I will say.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
gonna give away who, but you
Mhm.
will hear about other people.
That's exciting. That's cool. So
Yes.
so how far back did you start talking with Zion and like collaborating on this project? How long have you been a part of it?
So Zion hit me up about this project back in May 2021. So we've been like in production of it for the last 2 years, a little over 2 years now, but I've been on board since May 2021. So yeah,
That's very cool. And what's filming been like?
it's good. We love it. Like we have a lot of fun and stuff like that. It's hard because like obviously we have like a lot of adult responsibilities and stuff,
Hmm.
and like we don't like have the money. Like the reason it's not finished yet is because like we don't have the money to like take off a while and just knock it all out. So like we kind of just like that's the reason it's been taking so long is like we want to make it really good for everyone. Like we want to make it as good as possible, and we also just like have responsibility, so it's hard for us to get the time
Hmm.
and money to like take a week off to shoot. So like um when we do, we have a blast. I mean, I love Zion. He's a great dude, and everyone involved in the project so far, they're all amazing people. I'm super thankful to have like met them. So yeah, very thankful.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And like, did you have any at that point that he reached out to you? What was like the progress on the script and just the point that the project was at that point?
So when he reached out to me, the script was like pretty much finished, but there were some tweaks he was making to it at that
Mhm.
point still. Um, we always knew it was going to be a multiverse movie with Peter and Miles together, and we always knew that Green Goblin was going to be the main villain. But things throughout, we like he tweaked and like kind of like switched around a little bit,
Mhm.
and we had to cut some things out that we didn't really have time or like budget to film, unfortunately. But yeah, so like it's got tweaked a little bit since then, for sure. But it's been pretty much the same since I hopped on.
That's cool. That's cool, especially just considering how long it's been at that point. Like you guys have had a clear vision to stick to, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I agree for sure. It's always nice when someone like knows what they want to do. And when someone listens to like other input and opinions as well, which Zion is amazing at. He has his clear vision, but he will hear you out on certain things if you have an opinion, which I
Mhm.
love about him too. So
That's awesome. One thing I really want to talk to you about is the suit. I mean, like the suits in this that the pictures that have come out are just like incredible. Were you like where were the suits at in the process that you hopped in? Just because, I mean, like they look amazing. Like what does it feel like to have on and like look at yourself wearing a Spider-Man suit of that production value?
it's the greatest feeling in the world. I can't lie. I geek out every single time I'm wearing it. The first time I tried it on wasn't until like a year after I'd like gotten on.
Mhm.
And it was like in June when we announced was the first time I was able to put it on. And it was really awesome. I can't lie. Like it was just like it's just such an awesome experience, just like being able to put that suit on. It's definitely a pain because it's very hard to get off, especially when you're like sweating because it like sticks to your skin and stuff. But uh, it is the greatest feeling being able to put that suit on, and like just seeing like Zion in his suit as well was like it just was such a cool like surreal moment. I feel like
Mhm.
a dream come true, honestly. So
They both just look so cool. I mean, it's got to be so cool too, because at least in like live action, unless my like memories deceiving me, like we haven't really seen a live action Peter next to a Miles or anything like that. That must be
yeah,
so cool to see you two on screen together.
oh yeah, it's definitely like it's really fucking awesome because like oh sorry.
No, no worry.
Sorry about that. Um, it's really awesome. Like I can't lie. Like it's really cool just seeing like live action Miles because like that to my knowledge has never been done before.
Mhm.
So the fact that like we're doing it is like pretty cool to me. I know of other fan projects right now that are doing it as well, Miles stuff, but
Mhm.
I'm not claiming to be the first or anything. So before anyone like gets on me about that, but uh I think it's cool like because I think Miles is definitely like probably the best. I mean, other than like Wally West, I feel like Miles Morales is like probably the best legacy comic book character,
Mhm.
and like someone who's like able to take the reins of himself, like as himself. Now he's able to take the reins of Spider-Man. And I think he is a very interesting character, and the fact that we're able to like, you know, bring him to life is really cool. And the dynamic they have is awesome as well, which is something that I can't wait to shoot. And it'll be easy because me and Zion are like really close now. So
That's great. That's great. You guys have the chemistry with it. I'm very excited for to see all the Miles stuff, especially Miles, I would say is probably like the best addition to like modern Spider-Man just in general. That like it's gonna be really cool to see your guys' interpretation and adaptation to him. Like,
Yeah, I definitely agree with that statement. It's gonna be cool. I can't wait for
mhm.
sure.
So just like more on the suits, like your look for Peter, Zion's look for Miles, it's just so striking. How does it feel? I mean, I talked about how it feels like having them on and looking at you guys on screen. How does it feel to have like fan art made of you guys wearing the suit?
That is also like the coolest feeling ever. Like I love when people do that stuff. Like it just honestly like it makes like it just like makes things worth it. You know, it's like
Mhm.
it just like adds another layer of like, oh my God, this is so awesome. You know, like the fact that people are making fan art of us and stuff like that is like it's just the coolest. Like I really love it. So does Zion. We welcome it and we like love it a lot. So yeah, we hope people keep doing it because it's really
Mhm.
cool.
It's awesome. A lot of people definitely really care about this project. It's really cool. So like we talked about Peter, Miles, you mentioned Green Goblin. I know that the castings for MJ, Gonki, Aunt May all just came out. Is there anything you can tell us about at least Peter's dynamic with any of those characters in the script?
Um, I could like probably say some things.
Mhm.
He's very lost right now. So like his dynamic with MJ is very distant. He's very distant with her right now. As he is with pretty much everyone in his life. He's very distant because he's dealing with some things, and his like dynamic with Genki is pretty much like just like at first he's kind of like, who the hell are you, you know, like, and then it kind of like turns into something like where he sees him as like kind of like a, I don't know, like I guess a little brother, I guess you could say, because I mean that's kind of how like his dynamic is with Miles. I feel like they have a very brother like relationship in this
Mhm.
film. Um, as in they're just like, you know, very at first they're very hesitant of each other, and then they kind of like, you know, once they start meshing really well, they become like something greater. You know, they build off each other, like they help each other become better at the job of Spider-Man. So
Mhm.
at the by the end of the movie, which I really love. So excited for people to see that as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Did you mention Aunt May?
So for Aunt May, I can't give much away on that, but
Okay, okay. Sorry for asking.
um, no, it's okay. But yeah, I can't give much away on the Aunt May thing.
Okay,
So
okay. I'm looking forward to it. So are there any other like just stepping outside of Convergence then for just a second? Are there any other like project or characters you'd like to work on in the future, or like have you and Zion talked about possible projects after Convergence, whether it has to do with Spider-Man or anything else?
yes, me and Zion definitely want to work together for a long time. We want to continue working together as much as possible, like literally as much as possible. We have been talking about some things that we're going to be doing other than Convergence. We have some short films that we have planned, and we're just constantly talking about things. So yeah, we definitely want to work together in the future. Um, Unfortunately, I think this is going to be the only Spider-Man thing
Mhm.
we do because we want to, as much as we love this character, this is going to be a love letter to the character of Spider-Man. We want to branch off and do original things after this and original projects. Um, so I think this is going to be the only Spider-Man related thing we have. Uh, it's the only Spider-Man related thing we have planned as of now. I don't think we're going to do anything else with the character, but who knows? Right now, we're just planning original projects. So yeah.
Mhm. That's cool. I know it's not all filmed yet. I know you still got a lot more filming to do. Is there like an estimated runtime?
So we're planning on like an hour and a half ish.
Okay.
Like we want it to kind of be like a feature length kind of runtime, but we're not 100% sure yet. But somewhere in that ballpark, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it will be available on YouTube to watch.
Yes. There's another app it'll be available on. I forget the name of it. Zion said it. I forget the name. I'd have to text him about it or something.
Mhm.
But yeah, I know it's going to be available on YouTube for everyone to watch everywhere, for free too. So no one has to pay any money
That's
or
awesome.
anything. So yeah.
So like evolving from when Zion first brought you onto the project to now, I'd imagine if you agreed to it, like you must have had some attachment to the character of Spider-Man, but I was wondering what like what Spider-Man has meant to you before starting this project and what he means to you now after wearing the costume, putting your mind in the role of Peter Parker.
Well, for the longest time, I've been a Spider-Man fan. Tobey's movies like really got me into the character when I was a little kid. Back when I was like 2, 3 years old, I used to watch those movies like every single day, and I'm not even exaggerating. I used to watch Spider-Man 1 and 2 like every single day, and I used to run around my house with a suit on and stuff. So ever since, for as long as I can remember, I've been a huge Spider-Man fan, and he's always meant so much to me because like he is very human in his like actions. He's very, like he makes mistakes like which everyone does, and he tries to do the right thing at the end of the day always, like, and he always tries to right his wrongs. And I think it's very important to be that way. Like even when you're wrong, you got to learn from it and fix it, or at least try. And so I think his character just is very relatable, and it's inspiring to be like a better person. So like ever for as long as I can remember, like I would always try to like be like him, and
Mhm.
because I've always wanted to be Spider-Man, but I've always tried to be like Peter Parker and Spider-Man, like because at first like he's not a good person when he first gets his powers. He's not a good individual at all. Like he's a very selfish, self-centered person, and he realizes that was a huge mistake, obviously, from and then he becomes a better person from that. So it's like I think it's a very strong lesson to learn is that you can change and then you can become a better person, and that no matter your mistakes, you can always try to be better. And it's like since getting the role, uh, it's been even more like trying on that suit and like kind of like being engulfed in it all. Like it's just been uh it's a dream come true. Like literally, like this is my dream. Like my dream all my life has been to be Spider-Man, and I actually get to be Spider-Man. So it's a cool thing for sure.
That's really cool. I mean, what do you think you back watching those Tobey Maguire movies? Because that's what I used. That was how I found out about the character. I would watch that first Spider-Man movie over and over again in the back of my mom's minivan, just as long as I could remember till the till the DVD ran out. But what do you think that kid would say if he knew you were playing Spider-Man now? If he could see you wearing the costume, especially, because I feel like it's one thing to just say you're like making a Spider-Man movie and stuff, but I mean the production value, just the fundraising and how much effort you guys have all put into this project, it really shows.
It's I don't even know. I can't even lie to you. I think I'd just be like super shocked. Like I think I'd be in awe, Like I think little me would like obviously be excited, but I'd be shell shocked if anything. Like I'd be like, geez, this is crazy, like in a good way. So yeah, I think that's really the only reaction I have is like just shock. I would be in shock, and it's just awesome. I mean, I can't lie. Everything about this is like just it's humbling because it's something I've always wanted to do, and to see people like kind of like call on me to like trust me to like bring this character that they all love to life, is something that is very humbling because it's like people it kind of connects you with people more because like I love Spider-Man, and you don't think anybody loves the character as much as you do, and then you like see people love the character as much as you do, and it's like wow, I want to deliver for them. I want to bring the best performance possible of this character that they love for them, so that they you know can like hold on to that as like something they really appreciate. Because obviously I'd want the same if
Mhm.
someone was in my shoes right now. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's I'm sure that's a relief to hear for all Peter Parker fans watching this video. What was your like background in acting or anything like this before you took this role? Like what led Zion to reaching out to you?
Well, actually, like this is my first like um acting gig. Like this is the first time I've done anything like on this scale. I found out like after like a couple years after high school that I wanted to be involved in like filmmaking and stuff like that, whether it be like writing, directing, or acting. And Zion found me because there was this comic book account I followed for years. He is no longer on Instagram, unfortunately. His name's Omar though, and I had dressed up as Spider-Man for my nephew's birthday party,
Mhm.
and this comic book account that Omar ran, he saw that Zion was like writing a movie for Spider-Man, and Omar always told me that I would be a great Spider-Man if I was given the chance. And he told Zion about me, and Zion hit me up and was like, "Yo, like, do you want to be a part of this?" And I obviously said yes immediately. So yeah, I just it was like when I got that message at first, I was like, "No way," and then I obviously had to say yeah. Like
Yeah.
that was it. There was no other way that was gonna go. So he just found me from a friend. Thankfully, I'm very lucky, and yeah, so pretty much my first like big acting thing, and we're gonna continue making more stuff after this. Hopefully, can like make a name for ourselves. So yeah.
That's really cool. That's crazy how all that happens. Is there any like what do you are you doing anything else now in terms of filmmaking, or really just all the efforts going on this one project at the moment?
Well, we are since we have this like written and all that already, like
Mhm.
we're writing other things. We're in the process of writing other things at the moment, but we aren't going to like we're going to focus on this first before we move on to really anything else. When I go to Atlanta actually to film, we have a short film that Zion wrote. It's a little comedy thing that he wrote, and we're going to be filming that because it's not going to take long.
Oh, cool.
Um, it's like literally like a 2-page script, 3-page script, so it's literally not long at all. So it'll probably be like a 2-minute film at most. Um, so like we're gonna film that, knock that out because I don't get into Atlanta until like 10 at night tomorrow. So we
Mhm.
won't really be able to go to the city to film anything anyway. So we're probably gonna film it tomorrow night, and then we'll just do Spider-Man for the rest of the week. So yeah,
That's exciting. Are you how much are you hoping to knock out in this week of filming?
a lot. We want to get a lot done. We definitely the fighting is something that's going to be difficult because we want to make it as good as possible. And another thing I talked to Zion about is that the fight scenes in this movie are going to be very brutal, and we kind of like modeled that after the final battle between Toby and Goblin in his
Okay.
first movie. We want to make it like that, like kind of brutal like that, and maybe even step over that line a little bit. Um, because obviously you want the fight scenes to be engaging, you want people to like them. So we want to make it brutal and realistic. So that's going to be tough to do because it's going to take a lot of choreographing and stuff like that. Um, we have a lot of ideas for the choreographing, but that's going to take a while. So I don't know how much of the fighting we're going to get knocked out this week, but we're going to try and get most of the filming, like just regular parts of the film, knocked out throughout this week. So hopefully, we do that. Yeah, pretty much.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, just in terms of like the fighting and like how you have to choreograph all that, it must be at least one plus side of you guys not being able to just film it all at once is you have all this extra time to plan that out and scope out how you want it to be.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Because with this time that we have come up with better ideas for things, you know, and how we want to film them. Um, so yeah, like the fights have evolved like big time throughout this time of just like kind of like not being able to film. Like we have been able to think of better ideas and evolve it more. And so that's definitely a good thing, because I think now, as of right now, like with the way it's going, like the fighting is going to be like really good. I can't wait for people to see it. I'm very excited to film that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I think people are gonna like it. We want to make it. We want to make it a little bit darker because Goblin in this movie is very much so a menace. He is a menace to society in this movie. People are gonna see real quick that he's not playing around. So can't wait.
That's what people want out of their Green Goblin. That's good to hear.
Yeah, he's not pulling back. He's going. he's going.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. So you talk about like how intense you want these fight scenes to be. Something like we've seen glimpses of in like the trailers and little previews. We've seen a little bit of web swinging action. Can you talk about like I don't know how your involvement is in like that animation aspect of it, but I mean how does it
Um.
feel to see at least like a model of you swinging around?
One second. Hang on one second.
Yeah.
Um. It. I am not involved in animation whatsoever. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I definitely want to learn, but um, I'm not involved in any of it. But to see it is like really awesome because it's just like it's very impressive that people are able to do things like this. So it is very awesome to see. I can't lie.
Do you get to do you mind me asking, do you get to record any like wahoos or like screaming while Peter's swinging in the stuff?
Yes, yes, we did very much so. It's like so funny because like just doing it like without it's just very funny because like it's hard to not laugh when you're doing it because you're literally just
Yeah.
screaming like so it's kind of funny, I can't lie. But yeah,
Mhm.
definitely voice recording some most oh well not most, but a lot of lines because obviously some things do need to be CG. Yeah.
Mm.
Just kidding. I can literally swing. Like I'm literally Spider-Man, so
He's
I don't
him.
need no CGI. It's no CGI.
Yeah, that's all shot in Atlanta. All those
Yeah,
scenes.
yeah. I'm just swinging around, honestly, just messing around.
What's it been like, at least on set while you guys are filming, seeing uh Zion evolve as like I mean this was his script. How is it seeing him direct and like translate his script onto the screen?
It's really awesome because like he just has like such a good like vision. Like he's very one of the like probably the best creative mind I've ever met. Like he's just like very creative um with his shots and he
Mhm.
like just he's very good. Like he knows what he wants. He like does a great job at it and it's just it's so easy to work for him because he's such a like a good dude. Like I just love the guy. So yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, it's awesome to hear your guys' chemistry and like it seems like you guys have a lot of care and everything that you guys been putting into this project. I mean, the I'm pretty sure when I first heard about the project, it was a picture of you wearing the suit. That I mean, then I did some research on my own and seeing especially that like the Spider-Man inspiration for it. The ending scene of Spider-Man, like Peter passing the torch to Miles, is like one of my favorite moments in all of Spider-Man. That just the idea of seeing anything around that sort of moment, like just that Peter and Miles dynamic that we get in that comic. It's been really what's drawn me to this. Is there anything like Spider-Man or anything else that Zion drew from that you like? What was your relationship with some of these comics and elements that Zion brought to the script? Did you know a lot of them in advance? Did Zion introduce you to them and then you did your research after?
Zion introduced me to the death of Jean DeWolf. That is the one thing he did introduce me to.
Great comic.
Yeah, definitely one of the better Spider-Man stories out there, I feel like. But I was pretty familiar with like a lot of the more popular storylines and popular writers for Spider-Man already, but he definitely introduced me to that. I can't lie, I didn't read Spider-Man either until like kind of like coming into this. Like I knew about it, obviously. I knew the premise and stuff like that, but I hadn't read it before. So he introduced me to both of those, and yeah, pretty much like I didn't start reading comics until I was like I want to say 14. And I'm 22 now, so I've been reading comics for a little like around 8 years now. Um, so like I was a little familiar with um some of the better Spider-Man stuff. I don't read like all of it just because like most of the stuff coming out today is not good. Let's just put it
Yeah.
that way. It's very disappointing to see, but
Yeah.
I've read some of the more popular like writers that have wrote Spider-Man, like JMS, JMD, Chip Zdarsky, and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, pretty much. We are planning on releasing it next summer. We just don't know when during the summer it's going to be released, but we definitely want to get it out next summer.
Awesome. Have you guys any of the scenes that you have filmed edited them completely or anything? Like how does it feel seeing at the end of the day these scenes directly translated from Zion's script? How does it feel seeing it like in motion finally happening?
It's weird because like it's weird seeing me like be a different person than I am for a second. but it's cool, you know. It's like cool because it's like I feel like a completely different. I'm watching a completely different, like not completely different individual, but like um, it's just weird watching me act as someone. I don't know. Like it's cool, but it's like weird. I don't know. It's weird.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Weird, but still cool enough that you want to keep doing it.
Yeah. No. 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 It's not weird in a bad way. It's just like it's just it's like a cool kind of weird. I don't know.
Hmm.
You know, pretty much.
That's awesome. Well, that's all the questions I have for you. I'm still very excited for this project. I know a lot of people are. I hope the fan art and praises keep coming yours and Zion's way. You deserve it all.
Thank
Safe
you.
travels to Atlanta. I hope the rest of the shooting goes well. I'll be following
Thank
all
you.
the updates, and I'm excited to hear and finally watch the project when it releases.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot. Seriously, it does mean a lot, and this was really
Hmm.
awesome.
Yeah, of course. Are there any other like final notes you want to leave off, or just let anyone know about Spider-Man Convergence before you leave?
Um, stay tuned for this coming week because there is going to be a lot of content we have for you. So a lot more Miles content finally. We only have like I think like two pictures out there right now of Zion in his Miles suit, but we
Hmm.
are going to have a lot more Miles content for you guys this week. A lot of more content in general. So can't wait to show some of it. So
Awesome.
yes,
I'm
stay
looking
tuned.
forward to that. I was looking before. I could only find like the one picture of him like coming out with like all the darkness behind him. That like a lot of the Miles stuff I saw was like the concept art and stuff of the suit. But that's awesome to hear. That's gonna be
Yeah.
really cool for a lot of people.
So yeah, just stay tuned for this week, and your all your prayers will be answered.
We will. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate
Of
it a lot.
course. Thank you for having me. It
All
really
right. Talk
seriously
to you
awesome.
soon.
See you, man.